I made a huge mistake. So there's no air here in the basement.
Yep.
Of the duchy, the dungeon of the duchy, and so it's warm. And then Raquel and Mariah picked up some Vietnamese. They got me a banh mi. So with the sriracha and the jalapenos, it's just making everything worse.
Okay. Well, neat.
I'm thinking we're getting some feedback.
Okay.
And I think that's my fault. So, all right, there we go. Can you say something real quick, Alex?
Mic check. 1, 2. Check, check, check. Checking the live stream. Live stream check.
All right. So let me just make sure that we're actually live.
Okay.
Because we don't have a producer.
Nope.
We should have a producer.
Hey.
That'd be cool.
Position's open. Sign on up.
Alex, fill the air for me.
Well, it looks like we do have someone who says, Nate Simon says, he's been looking forward to this all day, which either means there's some anticipation that I'm going to be extremely bad at this, or they're looking for your wisdom. So, BJ from Board Game Gumbo says, "What's up?" So, yeah, we got some guild folks, we got some folks watching. So, Abby, my very pregnant wife, will be joining shortly. That's why I'm not.
Alice, you need to slide over to the right.
Yeah, I
slide over to the left.
I would, except this seat is about to be occupied, and in order to squeeze us in, it's going to be tricky. So I'll lean over to the right for a second, if that works.
Well, Nate, I'm worried that there's too much riding on tonight.
The stakes are too high.
Oh, it's Abby.
Hi, I'm learning to paint too. Sorry.
Terrific.
You bellied me right in the shoulder.
Now, do you guys have? Oh no, bug spray. I've been killing spiders with this, but I didn't realize it's wasp and hornet.
Oh.
So I may get swarmed at some point. Like, you'd think it would be fine to kill spiders.
You've had a long rivalry with these spiders.
It's a constant tug of war.
Yep.
Push and pull.
Yep.
Baker Mitchell showed up. Hey, Baker.
Hi, Baker.
Do we need more paintbrushes?
We might need more paintbrushes. We might not. I don't know. We've got 3. Does 3 work? Get these 3.
So those are the 3 that I sent you, correct?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Do we know a bunch of other smaller brushes?
I have brushes.
Abby has some brushes. She's going to get some brushes.
Ones.
So for those joining in now,
by the way,
I'm going to be a big sweaty mess.
What's that?
I'm going to be a big sweaty mess all episode.
Nice.
For those joining in now.
Excellent.
So, by the way, Alex.
Yes.
For those that listened to the last podcast and the Shang-Chi reveal, nobody's taking issue.
No. Trust me, I saw it. I was worried, but now we're in the clear. It's all good.
However,
if you want, it's fine.
Well, however, Steve O'Rourke, the name father, has not weighed in yet, which makes me wonder, right? I have this idea of him just stewing, like the purity of the game has been ruined for him. I don't know. He hasn't weighed in.
I've chatted with him separately, and I don't have any indication that he has an issue with this. So, yeah. Sean is wearing an apron. It made me think I should be wearing an apron.
Well, yeah. So I've ruined quite a shirt painting. So I wear an apron now. And every time I say, okay, I'm going to do something real quick. Don't need an apron. And then I mess things up.
Yep.
So I wear an apron.
All right. No, all good.
All right. Well, we ready to get started?
I think so. So I'll show you I'll show the audience the respective miniatures that we're each painting. I've got Sword Gun Guy. Sword Gun Guy. This is Sword Gun Guy. And Abby has the one that you so lovingly created. Though I think there was a spike on the end of this gun that might have broken off.
A bayonet.
He had a bayonet.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't anymore. So, yeah, no bayonet for him. So that's what we're rocking. Those are the 2 miniatures. We've got a set of 10 lovely basics paints that Sean has provided. We also have Tupperware lids, flat square Tupperware lids to serve as pallets per Sean's recommendation, and 2 separate Tupperware tubs of water. So we are ready to paint. Abby is excited to paint, I think.
I love painting.
Paper towel?
Yep. Oh, yeah. Tons of paper towels. We're good on that.
So Abby, Alex said that you guys have done art endeavors together, but you're the more skilled individual.
Yeah, I would say that's 100% accurate. He made a self-portrait of me that looked like a Muppet.
Yeah.
And I mean, mine of him wasn't like that much better, but it was like at least a human
I had very
shape.
like wet hair. I had very wet hair in that portrait.
I mean, you had wet hair in that picture at that time.
That's true. Yeah.
That's probably why I did your hair wet.
That's fair. Anyway.
Pandemic activities. When you're bored, you just start doing watercolor portraits of each other.
Yep.
I feel like we missed the boat. We should have gotten you into miniature gaming a year ago.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the gaming that I'm interested in. It's the painting.
Well,
it's the art.
Miniatures.
Yeah.
And that's fair. There's a wide swath of people that just paint, build. They don't want to play. So that's totally valid. 100%.
I'll be your painter.
Yep.
Okay. So here's what I'm envisioning, right? This isn't necessarily a how-to for anyone watching. It's a how-to for you guys. And I think there's some little bit of sadism to watch 2 miniature painting noobs learn. I think what's interesting is I learned to paint in person because there was no global pandemic and there was no whatever.
Yep.
This was 20 some years ago. And it's going to be interesting over a live stream. So
we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. So I've got kind of an over-the-shoulder shot, and you guys don't have that, but I've got that here. So here is a completed. Oh,
yeah.
This is gonna be fun if it keeps.
Oh, this is I think the guy that we isn't fitting together so well.
This is the sniper.
Oh no, we haven't tried. We haven't gotten to him just yet. So.
Yeah, the guy that you couldn't fit together the other night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a finished Death Korps model. I did him, I'd say in about 30 minutes, not counting the time it took to wait for the wash to dry. There's a quick shade wash. Other than that, about 30 minutes. So when you do them all in a succession, in like what's the word? Henry Ford.
Like an assembly line?
Assembly line, there you go. It takes a much shorter time. Because you don't have the time to like swap out paints and things like that. Nick Hayes has joined us. What's up, Nick?
Howdy, Nick.
I said it always starts with just painting, but
I
don't buy it. I don't see myself getting into it. Sorry.
You've seen Miniature Market, so it would give you definitely a wider array of that store to shop in next time we're there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I wish this would focus a little better. It may not even be the focus. I just think it's the resolution, because this over-the-shoulder shot's on my camera or my phone. All right, so you have built and primed 2 miniatures each, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so here's my unpainted, fully primed guy, just like you. I'm going to use just the paints and just the brushes that have been supplied to you. So, for example, this guy, this is my tank brush, which is way bigger. I'm not going to use this.
Okay.
Even though it would be awesome. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a zenithal highlight. It's basically the zenith. We're trying to paint on from top bottom.
Okay.
Normally I do this with an airbrush. You guys don't have an airbrush.
Nope.
Right? Well, I don't know. You could do it for nails. You could do it for painting.
Constantly airbrushing.
Constant airbrushing everything around this house all the time.
Okay, so the idea here is we're going to be picking out some of the raised areas of the model, so it gives us a little definition as we're painting, so you can kind of see what's sticking out, and there's a deeper recess of darkness. Kind of creates a natural shadow and highlights for raised surfaces.
Sure.
Come on, Death.
Excellent.
Okay. Grab your biggest brush.
Okay.
And grab your white.
Probably. Wait.
You
So
guys have the Army Painter.
probably this one, about this size. Abby has a whole other set of brushes, so she's doing some brush matching.
Is MW Mitch Williams?
Might be Matt Walker.
Could be Matt Walker.
That's about right. Sure. All right, we've got that. We got some white paint.
Okay. So very first thing, don't open it.
Nope.
Keep it closed, because you got to shake the heck out of it.
All right.
For a good 30 seconds. Especially if you haven't used it for a while, you need to mix it. All the paint separates. I have a different white. Like I have slightly different colors than you, but I'm keeping myself to the same basic colors. This was mixed last night, but. Oh, it is Mitch.
That's how you shake up your nail polish.
Nice and mixed. That one, because it's been sitting for a while.
Yep. All right.
Yeah,
Is that
do you have a paper towel?
Shake weight infomercial.
no, for sure. Yeah. No, this is very much shake weight stuff. All right. Are we good on shaking with this one, we think? Oh, she's shaking it too. Oh.
Yeah, get in there, Abby.
It's like you've never painted your nails before or something. There you
No.
go.
All right. It's been shaken. Can I open it now?
Okay. So it's a squeeze bottle. So go ahead and squeeze out, I would say, half of a dime.
Just onto the palette?
Mhm.
Yeah, just onto the palette.
Okay.
And let me show you guys what I'm using here.
Right on.
This is what I learned to paint on. Where is it? There we
Wait,
go.
on the
This
guy.
is just a 4x4 ceramic tile for like 80 cents from Lowe's. All right, so I'm gonna get some out too. Not a whole lot.
We went full dime with this one, it looks like.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Was that your paint or a child?
That was a child.
Yeah.
I'm gonna scream at them to keep it down. Hold on one second.
Chewy, keep it down.
Okay, so go ahead and load your brush up with white.
Okay.
And let me see if it shows here. Be very careful. You don't want to load it much past this halfway point. That ruins brushes. But I want you to load it up pretty decently.
Yep.
Just up to that point.
Yep. I think I barely did that right.
And on your palette, work it into the bristles. Just up to that halfway point. I know this seems like I'm micromanaging, but trust me.
Art teacher Sean.
Our teacher Sean at the rescue. All right. It's
Okay.
It's in there.
Make sure you keep yourself like
Now, take your paper towel
Okay.
and wipe off a good bunch of the white you just put on your brush.
All right.
We're creating a dry brush. Because what I want to do is I only want a little bit of white paint. Keep going. Do it more. Because I only want this to get on the raised areas. So what I'm not trying to do is I'm not trying to fill in the whole model. We're not trying to make a white model. We're just going to be lightly brushing this over the model, concentrating on the raised areas. In theory, pretend there's the sun coming down from top to bottom, hitting the raised portion. So it would hit the top of my shoulder, the top of my head, my armpit, not so much, right? But we're going to kind of cheat with that a little bit. So with a mostly dry brush, just start brushing it over the model, top to bottom for now. And I don't know if you could see, man, this keeps freezing. It's just adding like a little bit of almost a gray. And what this is going to do for us, like I said, it's going to create some definition. Can you already see where definition is popping out?
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, you can see it way more than you could when they were all black.
I don't know if mine's maybe a little too white in parts, but
Hold it up to the camera.
Sure.
It's pretty mummified.
Yeah. So if you have too much paint.
Well, it's a little late now.
Give it a wipey with
look at my guy.
Yep.
There's still plenty of black recessed areas.
All right. I'm kind of brushing it off with my brush.
Here's a dry brush with no paint on it.
Okay. All right. We're wiping them off. We're off to a phenomenal start over here.
And I'm doing this over the entire model.
Yep. Did that.
So in addition to just providing detail so we can see what we're picking at, this is also creating some white areas where once we apply the colors on it, those areas are going to be a little bit more vibrant, which creates a little bit of natural highlighting.
Would using some water, so two questions.
No.
One, would using some water help with this at this point? Because he's still pretty white.
No.
Okay. Two, there's like this space kind of under his leg where I didn't really get it in there. Should I get in there, or is that kind of in shadow anyway? So who cares? No,
go ahead and get in there a little bit. So you wipe off most of the paint from your brush because you could build this up, right? So if not enough is going on, you just build it up over successive layers. And then you have your sort of top-down conceit, but eventually for some of the areas, you just are kind of going side to side. I want to have a good idea of where all the features are. Yeah. So backpack, arms, gun, face mask, everything.
Abby's trying to fix my terrible mistake.
It's not that bad of a mistake. It's just slightly
Mitch is an expert
brighter
dry brusher, and he says no water.
Yep.
So we cut our teeth dry brushing because we played Battlefleet Gothic, which are these Gothic looking ships. And it just, all you did was dry brush them. Steven, he says, having never painted before, I had no idea how much went into painting miniatures. I have way more appreciation now.
Now we can go back to the Gamers Ranch.
That's right. Yeah, the Gamers Ranch has all sorts of painting supplies.
Are you guys having, well, sorry, Alex, are you having a drink?
No, I can. I don't know if we have any.
Well, that's probably better.
Yeah.
I'm having
strawberry
milk tea.
I'm having a Clown Shoes Galactica, double IPA. I think BJ said he's having an Ibiza.
Abby's going to check and see if there's a beer handy. We may or may not have a beer. If there's a beer, I will indulge. If not, so be it. All right.
We have wine and we have tequila.
Nah, it's fine. He is dry brushed. He looks like a cool statue. That's about what I got right now.
Let me see. Hold him up there. I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger. Okay, we'll make that work.
Abby, you want to show off your work? Abby listened to instructions better, I think. Here's Abby's.
Yes, that's better. Abby, nice.
Not
Clean
surprising.
off the brushes.
Okay, what's up?
Go ahead and clean off your brushes.
Like in water?
Yes.
Yeah, in water. Get it on the bottom. Like scrape the bottom.
Okay.
Good.
Yep.
Yeah. And then
Beat the devil out of it, as what's his face would say.
That's how I pull my brush like this to dry it. Keep its point. You don't want to just like stab it.
Okay.
And Abby, most of these instructions I figure are more for Alex than you.
Yes.
Fair.
Yes.
Really go with the for dummies level here.
So now I need you to look deep into the eyes of your lover. And by your lover, nope, wrong lover. I'm talking about the miniature that you're going to lovingly work on for the next hour or so.
What's your guy's name?
I mean, I think Imhotep.
Oh,
Imhotep, the Krieg warrior.
Mine was going to just.
It would be no. He would have a German name.
No, but it's Imhotep because he looks like a mummy.
Okay, so I need you to look at the model. I need you to understand what you're looking at here. Here, let's grab my guy. Hopefully the resolution's okay. So you could see where he's got these little brown boots, which are a little bit different than these kind of leg wrappings near the bottom.
Okay.
See those leg wrappings?
Yep.
Looks like a mummy bandage.
Yes, mummy bandages.
Okay. You've got they have pants, which I've painted here in a gray,
Okay.
which is separate from his long coat, which I've painted in a blue gray. Okay. I've chosen to paint the gloves, the gray, not the blue gray. So you need to kind of see where there's like the folded over sleeve versus where the glove starts. You can see on his gun, I've painted it mostly metal.
Yep.
Except for the rifle butt, which I painted wood, painted brown. His helmet, his shoulder pad, those are all metal. His face mask is kind of the same color as his bandages. And then on his backpack, I painted it a brown again, kind of like it's a leather. And then his bedroll that's attached over top, I painted like the wrappings.
Okay.
So it's kind of a good idea to look at your model, see where the different areas meet so that you're not over painting. But yeah, does that make sense?
I think so.
Yeah.
So Steven, Steven, he's got some deep cuts here.
Smithison the constantly movable. Oh, that is a deep cut. I haven't played Keyforge in a long time. Yeah, it's in the basement somewhere. That's
okay.
It's a deck. It's a deck one. It's a unique deck one, but they've put it on pause because the algorithm backing it up broke, and they had to reprogram the algorithm to make new decks. They ran out of decks to make. Anyway.
All right. So one principle is you paint from deep to out. Does that make sense?
You paint like inside his legs and stuff before you paint like the gun.
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Great.
But it's easier to make mistakes if you go the opposite way. So let's paint his trousers and his gloves. So what I need you to do is take your black and your white, because you guys do not have any gray of any sort, correct?
We have a plate metal.
Metal.
You have a plate metal, and then we have a brown, but no gray itself.
No gray. So take a black.
Okay.
Give it a good shake. Mitch is just dropping mad wisdom bombs on dry brushing.
Can always add more paint. Use less than you would think on each stroke. Yep.
Let me tell you a story about me.
Away with.
You guys want to hear a story about painting?
Be fine. He'll just be slightly shinier than its friends.
We were at the Games Workshop where I worked, and my boss, his name was also Sean. He had this kid. His son was like crawling around on the paint station, and Mitch didn't realize it was his son. And he leans over to me in a loud whisper, and he goes, "This kid looks like an alien." And my boss, what's happening? And I was like, "Oh, I don't know."
All right, my matte black is shaken.
Not
okay,
Not
so
stirred.
I want you to take out, let's say, the same amount that you took out for the white.
Yep, and then mix them. Kind of pour them into each other, right?
New black? Oh shoot, this was a new black. No, we're going to start off with a new white.
Oh, okay.
All right. I'm going to take, so for my pot, I'm going to take 2 bits of black.
Fun.
Black is ready.
And for me, I'm going to clean my brush quite a bit.
It totally looks
I
like
can dip it in my pots. Now, can you add to that?
Yep.
You see, I've got my black here.
Yep.
Can you add to that about 1/3 the amount of white? Maybe a little less than 1/3.
It's just gonna be a little beep.
Yeah, that's enough.
I think I probably did it slightly too much, but it's about right.
We can add more.
I think that's probably fine because we can add more black, add more white. Now take some water, load up your brush with water, and give it a mix.
All right.
Okay, the key to this is thin paints. Thin paints may need a couple applications, but it keeps from gumming up the details. Everyone say hi, Mariah.
Hi, Mariah.
Hello.
All right.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna.
Thank you.
Yeah.
For my second beer.
We have a mixed gray, courtesy of Abby.
So for me, I think this is a little bit too dark. I don't know what your gray looks like.
Here,
My gray is a little bit too dark.
I'm gonna try and do that without pouring paint on my computer. Do you see that?
Maybe lighten it up a little bit, add a little bit more white.
Okay, we've got
And the
some.
reason is we're going to be adding a brown wash at the end. That's going to darken up everything anyway.
That's the strong
So
tone.
it's a little bit brighter. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Baker, two thin paints or two thin coats.
should be okay.
Yeah, I like this. That's a better consistency.
We have a good. We probably need more. I'd just get the rest of that white in there.
And so for this, you should use the size brush that you're most comfortable with. When you're first starting, it's usually a smaller brush.
Do you have a tiny brush?
I have a tiny brush. I have a teeny tiny little brush.
Mitch's response is on screen there.
Yep.
All right. So I'm going to struggle a little bit here because normally I have this like right here. I have it down here. Here are some tricks for when you're trying to maintain control. You can lock your hands at your palms or your wrists. That creates some steadiness. Elbows on the table is usually good.
Okay.
All right, so I'm just going to go in there.
Where am I painting?
And I'm going to start the pants.
Okay. But not the lower part, not the mummy wrappings, just the pants.
Just the pants,
Okay.
no wrappings.
Just the pants. Avoid the wrappings, avoid the trench coat.
Thin paint.
And what you really want to do too
Water in it.
is you want to leave in some of the black that borders the other parts of the model.
Okay.
That kind of creates, think of like a comic ink line. Create separation. Because these are wee dudes, and you're standing 3 feet away from them. And so it helps. And you notice, at least on the guy I have, there's really not that much to paint here.
No.
This particular step. And then when you're good, go ahead and do the gloves. And don't forget the fingers. Now, if you're feeling very skillful, you can try and only get the raised portions of the fingers.
Okay.
And don't get paint into the recesses. But if you do, that's okay. Oh my God, this guy's so far from my face.
This has to be
And
the
don't
most.
forget on the left hand to get his thumb on the other side of the glove.
Watch these nerds paint. Okay, where's my phone? I need more light.
Abby needs more light. We're getting some lighting solutions up in here.
Light is helpful. And here's the thing. So like on my guy, you've got the back side of his leg. Let's see. For the most part, I don't need to reach that because nobody's going to see that.
Should the gray kind of continue into like the underside of his coat? Like for my guy, like he's got a little coat flaps.
No, I would. So either he has a different colored inner lining
Yep.
Or it's going to be the same color as the outside of the coat. I would imagine it's the same color. I don't think he's got a sweet inner lining. I don't think they can afford that. The Minotaurum can't really afford that for these guardsmen. And it's also another step and more work, kind of.
Yep.
Nick is jumping off. See you later, buddy. And where you have areas that have started to dry, you could start applying that second coat. And we're about to see some magic here in a minute. It's going to be awesome.
Gonna see some magic.
Some magic. Not Magic the Gathering. That's...
Yeah, get that nonsense out of here.
A coworker that I don't like likes Magic the Gathering.
Yep.
I'm just supposed to paint the tops of the fingers, not the insides, like not in the ridges.
Not the recesses, if you can avoid it. Yeah.
Preferably, yeah.
But I mean,
Well,
I definitely did.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Because the brown wash is going to fill in those recesses. Yeah, Jeremy, look at the apron in despair.
And we're saying the cuff is the jacket and it's not a high glove.
You can paint it however you want.
Ooh, that's a good question. I'm treating... Ooh, that's a really good question.
I think you can paint it however you want.
Well, I treated it as a folded over coat because it's a World War I trench troopers greatcoat. But I say if you want to treat it as part of the glove, have at it.
Okay.
Everyone in the rest of the squad will just make fun of him.
Look at this guy with his long gloves.
He'll be the one that has to go scout out of the trenches.
All right, my gloves and pants have 2 layers on them of some thickness.
Perfect.
Yep.
How you doing there, Abby?
I'm good. I'm just finishing up my last glove layer. And then we're good. Okay. Go. Next step.
What's next?
Okay. Next step, we're going to take our same gray.
Yep.
And I want you to add a little bit more white to it.
Okay.
Because we're going to do a very basic highlight.
We probably need some from here. Right.
And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use one area of my little mess of gray. So I don't have to use a whole bunch more white to get the right color. I just want like a shade or 2 darker. Or sorry, shade or 2 light.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what we're going to be doing. By the way, add more water. So if you look at my shirt here, where I've got it bunched up, we're going to want to highlight like the top of my shoulder, and we're going to want to highlight the raised parts of this bunching up. And so I'm talking like for this guy's knees, I'm talking like a couple quick strokes.
Okay.
So here, let me show you. Okay. So I'm getting just kind of the top of his knee. And there's a couple of these little pantaloon ridges. Nope, I'm too far away. Oh my God.
And just like a little quick line on the top, huh?
Just a little quick line. Nothing crazy. And then same thing with the gloves. I'm just kind of putting them on the tops of areas. And even on the fingers, just a little finger, 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 thumb, top of glove. And that's it.
Okay.
Crazy.
I think the knees did great. I think the gloves, I probably was a little too generous with the paint there. But other than that, it looked
Hands are hard. Hands are hard.
That was good.
Yeah, knees look okay. Gloves,
Okay. All right. Next, let's grab your brown.
Okay. Oops.
Give it a good shake.
Yeah, here we go. All right.
And just a little bit.
Okay.
Add some water.
Hang on.
I'd say you probably want 3 parts paint, 1 part water.
Okay. Just a small amount of water in there. Okay.
All right. So we're just going to, oh, and something that I do too, after I've added the water, I'll usually dry off the brush because I don't want a ton of water in there.
Yep.
And we're just going to paint the boots.
Okay. But
And
not
you know what? Let's go ahead and paint the. Now you know what? Paint the leg wraps too.
Can I? I'm going to do those in pure white later.
You can.
Because he's a mummy.
And you notice how there's like the sole of the shoe.
Yeah.
I'd kind of like to leave that black, a little thin black line at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
If you don't do that, that's fine. Oh my God, this is so far away.
Oh boy.
You thought about moving your face closer.
The camera or the phone is in the way.
Well,
He did think about it.
thought about it, and he said no.
Yeah.
Yeah, the people I watch online, they've got the camera like over their shoulder. So they can just...
Is this like a lucrative business?
I can
Painting
be.
miniatures on the internet?
I don't know. Ask Rob Oren. Yeah.
For some people.
Nate Simon says, do the highlights as the last thing. One of the last things after the paint is dried, but that is not what Sean Ramirez has suggested.
Now, Nate, are you talking about the highlight for every single thing, or just the highlight of that color?
Our teachers are fighting. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Also, when you're doing a boot, if he's got a raised bottom of the shoe, of his boot, don't paint that brown.
Nah, he doesn't have that. My guy's feet are firmly planted on the ground. This guy knows where he's going in life.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to also, while we're at this, paint the mummy wraps. It's like mummy wraps.
Mummy wraps, because we're going to use the brown as kind of a base.
Okay. Maybe they'll be like a, no, you want them distinct. All right. He's getting mummy wraps.
We're doing them white.
Just I've done the boots. The boots are brown. And I'll do another layer there, but first, they're getting just a little white.
And so I think Nate kind of raises an interesting point, because it depends on how you paint. So like when I first started painting, I would use a dark blue for like the base coat, and then 2 lighter blues that are technically they're different hues, but they're lighter shades, and I'd use those as highlights. And then the Games Workshop boss that taught me how to paint was like, don't do that. You use white. Like you add white, progressive amounts of white. And so that's how I've just kind of continued to paint. And so for highlighting purposes, it just makes sense. You just add progressive more white. How them boots looking?
Looks like his toe needs another little bit of love. I'm rinsing out my brush. I'll give people a show of what I'm up to here in a second.
And then I'm going to do the butt of the rifle, but I'm leaving the edge because I feel like it's got a
like a plastic end cap.
Yeah, I painted it metal on the other dude.
You paid for the whole rifle, but you only need the edge. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
These guys are like, sir, we're fighting a war in gas masks.
Rifle time.
Gotta avoid that mustard gas.
Is it supposed to be like a specific war, or is this
World
like
War One?
future war?
I think it's like past war.
No, wow, okay. No, it takes place in the 41st millennium.
I was gonna say, you, this
48,000 years from
war,
now.
what kind of wars did you learn about where they had friggin' saw swords and machine guns and gas masks?
All right, so I'm gonna see if the camera will focus here. It might take it a second, but Sean, here's a look at the boot and his mummy wraps.
Okay, looking good.
Yeah. And
then once you're done with the boots, hit, like I said, hit the stock of the rifle.
I don't really have a rifle. He has like a little like short gun.
Oh, he's got a pistol.
Well, yeah, it's a pretty big pistol,
It's
but
a sawed-off pistol.
it's a sawed-off pistol-y kind of thing.
I'm also painting the backpack and the bedroll.
Ah.
But I'm not painting, you notice there's like a little cylinder at the bottom?
Yep.
Yes.
I'm not painting that brown.
Okay.
And we're kind of, by painting this is like one of the most outer things, which kind of goes against my earlier advice.
Yep.
But sometimes when you've got a color out, just
F
stick
the
with it.
rules.
Sean ain't got no time for no rules. Oops.
Busy adults with career.
Literally all I have time for.
I mean, Sean's whole job is rules.
Yeah, that's right. Sean is the rules man.
Maybe I should have gone with the law.
You think Abby would be a good lawyer, Sean? Wait.
Sean knows nothing about me.
Yeah.
I think nobody should be a lawyer.
It's fair.
Terrible.
It's
terrible
smart. You
job.
cut down on the competition that way, Sean.
Terrible, terrible job. It has its moments.
I mean, clearly it's working out for you. So.
I mean, yeah, it's fine. I'd rather be playing games and painting miniatures all day, but you know.
Wouldn't we all?
Sean, you better make this live stream extra spicy if you want to catch all that sweet sponsor attention and be able to make a career change.
Who do you think sponsors your painting?
No.
Miniature market.
Quite a few people.
Yeah.
So you're not selling Casper mattresses and
No.
Well, that's the thing. So some of the bigger gaming channels, they do have like regular sponsors, like non-gaming related sponsors. Like Game Nights and the Command Zone, they're the same thing. They have some Magic related sponsors, but they also just have like regular sponsors.
All right. This fool's backpack is, I think, pretty good. There's some sweet backpack action. There you
it's a
go.
diaper bag, actually.
It's a diaper bag. This guy's a very good father.
It's bringing his kid to war, man.
Mm-hmm. It was bring your kid to work.
Work.
Day, so.
Yeah. You just added the extra K.
Maybe we should Barbara Ann.
Got a couple layers on there?
Yep.
Sweet. We're ready for the next step. Backpack and boots are done. And I guess butt of the rifle.
A good quality second layer on?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's wait, because the next step would be to do the wraps, but my wraps aren't dry yet. I don't know about your guys' wraps.
I mean, I didn't wait until they dried. I just kind of painted. So they just sort of.
Okay.
I mean, I'll show you. I think they look fine. But there's his
Some extra light to
boot
show
stuff.
this.
Now you got get it from the other angle. All right. Nah, it's not helping.
But yeah. Okay. Let's do the trench coat,
Okay.
the great coat. So you need your black, you need your white, and I believe you need your ultramarines blue.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to play with this. So if you notice on my completed model, it's this kind of darker blue-gray coat.
Okay.
So let's try 3 parts black, 1 part blue, 1 part white.
Could we make it bluer if we wanted?
Sure.
Do you want to make it bluer?
We can make multiple colors.
Yeah.
Sir.
I'm thinking like two.
Just squeeze out the blue.
All right. Look at that.
Okay.
Yep.
So like for me, it's very much a gray, but with a blue tone to it.
Do you want it that color or light?
I think this darker one's pretty good. Maybe just a touch of maybe I need like a little more black.
I want mine to be more light.
More. I had an instinct that more light might look good too, though. So yeah, let's mix that up and see what we get.
If you want dark,
no,
you can mix over here. Get yourself a nice dark blue.
No, I like it. I think I want.
Like the diaper bag reference.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, yours came out. I get what you're doing.
Mitch asked if these required primer or is he way out of date? And yeah, no, you still got to prime these guys.
Yep, I did that yesterday. Quite successfully. That little
how did that go, by the way?
Works pretty well. What?
No, just asking how it went.
It went great. I think it looked good.
Okay.
Do you want that, or you're gonna?
I want more blue in there.
Yeah, I think a little more blue in there would be good.
So you can kind of see my blue gray here. This is actually even a little bit more blue than the last time.
Good. Make that color.
So
that's fine. I'll be fine.
Let's get a more consistent mix, but I think that's the right blue. We're going with Tupperware blue. So basically a slightly grayer shade than our Tupperware lids here. So I think we're going a little bit, we're not terribly far off from what you're doing there.
Okay.
So, anyway.
So go ahead and paint the coat, the sleeves. Don't paint the belt. Notice there's like a belt. We should paint that gray.
I don't have a belt on mine, I don't think.
You've got a belt.
It's hard.
And I don't know if you can tell what I'm doing here.
That.
I've got areas where there's cloth, overlapping cloth.
Okay.
You could put paint down over the whole thing and just kind of fill in the areas that meet. I'm leaving a bit of a black line, but again, your wash will, at the end, will cover that up. And I feel like this is where the guy really starts to kind of come together.
Come together.
Right now.
You guys are demonetized.
Oh no, we were going to make so much ad
the
revenue
live
off of
stream.
this. Oh, this is going to be so lucrative. There's Chewy's college fund right there.
Now we'll never know.
Okay. I feel like at least at the moment, all this is doing is kind of losing a bunch of detail.
Hey, guess what I did? I got blue on my pants.
Oh.
So I just cleaned off my brush, took some water on my brush, and I'm just sort of wiping it off. And all is right with the world.
I've stayed pretty good on not doing
this
that.
This guy's just wearing blue jeans to war.
Yeah. He's got his war jeans on.
Heard of carpenter jeans. You've heard of Jinko jeans.
The problem with the inside of his coat, I guess it's a different lining because that's going to be hard to get to without messing up the rest of this, including his pants.
Well, and for the most part, you consider it's going to be on a table below your plane of view.
Yep.
You're really not going to see it.
All right. To what degree of his coat, like on his chest and whatever else are you doing, or are you not doing that?
Yeah, so he's got sort of a Darth Vader breather box with the little hose going up from that box to his mask. Yep. So like I'm going to paint blue. There's sort of areas underneath his helmet. Hey, Dan King's here.
Dan King, the Game Boy Geek. Daniel Justin King, the Game Boy Geek. I think so. Is it Justin? Dan will let us know if I got the middle name right. It's been a chunk of time.
Dan, what's your social security number?
Hey Dan, what is your?
And also appreciating the apron.
Hey Dan, can we get your bank account details, please?
Just the last 4 of the Social Security.
Just the last 4 is fine. We don't need the whole.
Dan texted me earlier. He was a fan of the Sean Connery reveal.
All right.
I can't tell you how giddy I was
pulling that off. Yeah.
Reveal.
Yeah, I believe it.
So Abby, Alex told you?
Yes. I think that's brilliant. Alex was like, I don't know if people are going to think that's funny. And I was like, I mean, you also didn't review a game one time and you thought it was hysterical. So I think everyone's allowed to pull their own jokes.
I had a very good, non-premeditated reason for not reviewing that game. Ooh. Just the power of tequila.
And a wife.
Oh, look at that. You're getting a little attaboy from Ryan.
Oh, for following through on actually making a couple of these and painting them? Yeah. Look, as I said on the podcast, if you're going to send me this level of stuff, like there's no way I'm not going to give it my all and dive in here. I can't promise the results are going to come out great, but I'm doing my best here.
If you build them.
So, yeah, I mean, I look at like games with decks that you construct, like Magic and Netrunner and whatnot. And you've always said that, yeah, you might enjoy playing the game, but you're not going to be someone who's going to read through articles and go on forums and build decks. And so that's kind of what this is.
Yep.
But there is a sort of sense of pride and ownership that you can have.
All right, EA Sports. Does this guy have a front of a jacket, or is it some sort of like chest plate situation?
In my case, I'm doing like front of jacket, like I did above the top here. I did that in blue.
They have they're these breather boxes. And in fact, I think I did them brown.
Yeah, there's a box that's hanging like a necklace, but it doesn't, they're from like chin to box. Is that just coat?
That's coat.
Yeah. A small brush. This is a very tiny man.
Are you guys doing the bases too with flipping or terrain or anything? I
got the production. I got the production here.
Yeah. Honestly, the ones he sent us did have them.
Yep. I didn't. I have not acquired the little like terrain things for ours, but we do have the sand or powder or whatever to put on there. So yeah. So here's the thing, Mitch. What we're going to use is we're going to use this new Games Workshop, new to you, new to me too. GW Games Workshop Technical Paint, which is basically paint with sand mixed in. And so it's not as good as what we used to do, gluing sand onto the bases and other textures and whatnot, but it's way faster. Ryan, I will say, I haven't this yet. I'll give people kind of an update on what we've got cooking here. So there's this coat. So I think I've stuck kind of painted within the line so far. I don't know how well people can see this or not see this. Sean, what do you think? What do we got? There's this bottom of his trench coat here.
Yeah, that's looking good.
And then you got on the chest, and then I got his arms as well, kind of with the blue. So it's this kind of grayish blue. I will say,
did you get like the high collar?
Yeah, the high collar, not quite. No, because I've kind of left his shoulder pads to be more grayish. And then I've also got to kind of paint around his voice box. So I've got a little more work to do on the inside there, but it's coming together. Ryan, I'll say so far it's not terribly bad. Right, I've had some missteps with a little bit too much white at the start, but I don't know. This is it's coming along. It's okay.
I think for someone whose fine motor skills are
Atrocious.
yeah,
bad.
it looks pretty good.
Yeah, look. The standards were pretty low, and I think I'm meeting them.
Oh,
so
I think you've exceeded them.
Oh, thank you. Oh. Did Abby's sister help?
Alex, you're doing great.
So Daniel Justin King, the Game Boy Geek. Abby's sister is in North Carolina, so she is unable to help paint any of these at this time. But next time she's in town, now that we have paint kits and stuff, might be a thing to do while the baby's taking a nap. I don't know.
I was talking to her today because I talk to her every day.
Yep.
And I told her we were doing miniature painting tonight, and she said, "Oh, I loved doing that. That was so much fun. It was so relaxing." So,
are you enjoying it?
Very jealous.
Are you enjoying this?
I am enjoying this.
Good.
Nice.
Surprised if you didn't.
I mean, I feel like, do they make like a miniature set that's like joyful?
Yeah, that's
bright, happy.
Yeah. Okay, here's the tagline for Warhammer 40,000. In the grim darkness of the future, there is only war. So
not Warhammer is what you're saying.
So Sean picked the happiest game he could find
and
sent along the miniatures.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, that's fine.
Lovely.
That was great.
My fingers are turning black.
Oh no.
Which says if you have 3 colors on your figurines, you're fine. That used to be the standard to play in a Games Workshop store or in a tournament. You had to have 3 colors.
Really?
That feels very strict.
Why can't you just, not paint them?
Because it takes you out of the immersion.
Does it?
What if I made them all just that whitewash and they're kind of like ghosts? They're just like ghost figures.
People have done that. You could certainly do that.
You do them
You can actually use something then.
You're reenacting a Ken Burns documentary.
Yep.
I have this. It's another technical color, Tesseract Glow, that is somewhat fluorescent.
But like in a fun way?
Emil is weighing in from Denmark. I don't know if you saw that a little bit lower on.
Wow, what time is it in Denmark?
It's late in Denmark.
Jeez.
I got to think it's like 2 a.m.-ish, somewhere in that ballpark. Yeah, the travels were a long time ago. They were pre this lady, and they were pre me getting to Southeast Asia. So yeah.
Pre a lot of ladies.
Yeah. Pre jeez. Oh man. All right.
Dukes of Spice.
The Dukes of Spice, brought to you by Abby. All right.
So while you guys are working on that, I'm gonna get my brown back out.
And I forgot doing pretty well with this guy. Box. Like I don't know if I need another layer or if he's just kind of good, but maybe get in there.
I was about to paint as I would normally.
Ooh, you're doing a good job.
I think Abby's killing it. Alex, I think you're also here.
Yep. Yeah.
No, I'm kidding, Alex. I'm kidding.
I'm decently pleased with how this is going so far with him.
Good.
So
I'm happy. Now, if all of a sudden all of a sudden Abby, if Alex decides to be this like big time Warhammer 40,000 tournament scene,
oh God,
traveling to Vegas and San Diego and New Orleans, and
looks like I'm gonna get the house to myself.
Yeah, she wouldn't mind that a ton.
When we first started dating, he was traveling a lot for work. And then he quit his job and then he was home a lot.
Yep. And now I'm in a job and home a lot.
So that was, I'll take you getting out of the house some more. Although I don't see you becoming a big time Warhammer.
Seems unlikely.
To me, it seems like this is a game where you have to pack carefully.
Yeah.
You're not a careful packer.
No, you've got specific carrying cases, foam cases. Mitch raises a good point. Slanesh technically can be joyful.
What is Slanesh?
Slanesh is one of the 4 chaos gods. There's Slanesh, Khorne, Tzeentch, and Nurgle. Slanesh is sort of the
You lost her at Chaos Gods.
Khorne? Khorne is a chaos god?
Khorne. He's a god of war and blood and.
I was hoping it was spelled like the band.
Emil is now in Canada, so it's not super late there. In Montreal, like that town. Good town. Haven't had some good poutine in a while. Anyway.
What's next?
What's next? Yeah, I think we're.
What's next? Grab your brown.
Okay.
And if you need to hit the breather box,
yeah,
go ahead and do that real quick.
With the brown.
Let's see here. I don't know if you could see. There's the area on the breather box on the right as you're looking at them, where the hose attaches.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that brown. I imagine that's like a metal input.
Yep.
So paint that, and then also go ahead and paint the mask.
Brown?
Brown. We're gonna make it more of kind of a bone color, but it provides a nicer base.
Okay.
We'll see in a second.
All right, hitting the breather box.
Oh, it's brown?
Brown feels so
brown.
gross.
Yeah. That's war, man. War's gross.
That's how all the vets
These are Imperial Guardsmen, also known as the Astra Militarum, because they had to give them all these little funky Latin names. And there's a bunch of different flavors of Imperial Guard. So these are sort of World War I German trench troop inspired. There's more futuristic, the Tempestus Scions, who are these like drop troops. There's Catachin jungle fighters, who are just a bunch of Rambos, just running around.
And it feels like.
There are Talarn desert raiders. There are the Vostroyan Firstborn, who are these Russian dudes with big furry hats.
So is this like you buy extra sets of these to play with them if you're like, I would prefer to have these guys?
So in this game, you have a kill team. It's 4 to 14 miniatures, and you pick what weapons they have. You pick all sorts of stuff, and then you can have additional kill teams if you want. Now, in the bigger game, Warhammer 40,000, you have different armies that range between 20 models and 150 models.
Sean, when you say the mask, are you talking about just the faceplate of the mask, or are you talking about the entire helmet?
No, not the helmet, just the faceplate of the mask.
In the trunk.
And the whole trunk too, like the little tube guy?
I wasn't doing the trunk.
No,
okay.
Too late.
Too late.
Or gray. But if so, that's fine. Not a big deal.
It's all connected.
No wrong way. So Emil's saying he knows nothing about Warhammer 40,000. He's playing a lot of board games.
Hey, that's also me. I know that they play football from time to time. That's about it.
There is something about the Warhammer 40,000 lore that I just love, even though it's dark and depressing. And
Sean, Abby is curious, how long so this particular game that we have, the box says about 45 to 60 minutes. Is not a long game. But for like the big games, how long is a big game of this?
About, depending on the size of battle, because everything has a point level, so you might play a 1,000-point game that takes about an hour and a half, or a 2,000-point game that takes like 3 hours.
Yeah.
It also depends on the people. So back in the day when I was playing all the time, me and my buddy Anthony, we could play a 2,000-point game in a little under an hour.
Okay.
Which is very fast.
So how many of these dudes do you have?
Got a lot.
1,000.
Jiminy Christmas.
Yeah. All right. So you still got the brown out, right?
What's up?
Yeah, we got the brown.
Yeah, the brown's where it needs to be, probably.
Let's mix
Also on the underside of my sword, somehow.
an equal number of parts white and brown.
Okay. Parts white and brown.
Half and half.
Okay. Yep.
Kind of like,
Almost like a sandy kind of color.
Like a milky
equal parts cream.
Yeah, is this like a nice espresso? Is that what we're going for?
latte.
Yeah, Nescafe, if you will.
Yeah, ours might be just a touch.
Just a hint more brown. I mean, his is pretty light.
Just a touch.
No, there.
Mitch says Warhammer is inherently goofy. It's kind of supposed to be a little silly and something to laugh at. And that's true. It's a bit of everything, though. So, for example, one of the Catachin characters, his name is Sly Marbo, which is
Margo?
and Marbo is a mix-up of Rambo.
All right, Sean, we got our mix. We got our creamy latte.
All right, so let's do this. Let's hit the wrappings on the ankles and shins.
Oh, I already did that.
Hold on. No, do it with this mix.
No,
He
I
wants
did
the
it in
white.
mummy. He has the mummy wraps.
Yeah. What are you saying? You already?
He made his mummy wraps white. He wants them white.
This already happened earlier. I made mummy wraps.
He wants full white mummy wraps.
I mean, maybe I'll throw in a little mix of it, like they're dirty almost, like a little.
Well, they're going to get dirty with the wash.
Oh, okay. Then they're fine. All right, where else does this go?
Perfect. It's also going to go on the face mask.
Okay.
And so we put down the brown because when we have a lighter color like this, if you have more of an intermediary color, it'll go on easier.
It's like a primer.
Yeah. We would also do, the bedroll.
The bedroll?
Find that there are these little leather straps.
Yep.
Holding down the bedroll, so avoid the leather straps.
Okay, the bedroll is not the canister at the bottom.
No.
Oh.
The bedroll is at the top of the backpack.
Is at the top.
Okay.
Do we have some things to touch up?
No, I was just confirming before painting.
It's all completely perfect, as described. Every detail. Lovingly realized.
Whoever told you I make mistakes was lying.
That's right. Didn't happen. Okay.
My face is a little bit closer now. This isn't so bad.
Gosh.
It's tough getting in there on the bedroll stuff.
This guy's legs are really close together.
Now, unfortunately, you guys don't have gold.
No, we have yellow.
We have this technical Armageddon dust.
That's for the base.
That is for the base.
Not gold. We only have a plate mail metal. I have gold nail polish.
Yeah. Would that be a good call, Sean? Just break out the nail polish?
I mean, I don't see why not. Oh, no, because I think actually it could wind up peeling up some of the paint.
It's formaldehyde free.
All right. I actually surprisingly think I did the bedroll okay.
Well, good job. I haven't even started.
That's because I already did the mummy wraps. I was ahead of the game on the mummy wraps.
Doing great, Alex. Doing great.
Do Krieg ever live long enough to use the bedroll?
These don't look like men.
Yeah.
These don't look like men.
Like it seems like a type of like a fly.
Yep.
Their lifespan.
Okay. Here's where we're at. Here's some detail look. All right. So you got the backpack with the bedroll and the other stuff, and then you got his face and some other stuff on there. So that's where we're at. I am feeling self-conscious about my mummy wraps. I don't know.
They're gonna get darker with the wash. I think own the wrap, dog.
All right, I'm owning the wrap.
You were into it. Don't let
Imhotep will keep his mummy wraps.
Conventional keep you from being weird.
Extraordinary and
Very
weird.
weird.
Yeah.
Extraordinary.
Where do I paint the American flag on this miniature?
We're gonna put the MAGA hat on
Oh,
this guy.
jeez.
There are some interestingly themed armies.
Oh boy.
Even Republicans.
Does this light
So
brown?
I know everyone's not there yet.
Sean, light brown on his belt? Would light brown on his belt? Like he has a belt in the middle. What's your intention for that?
Gray. Remember I said earlier, I'm like, oh shoot, forgot to do the belt.
Oh, okay. So we have a gray. I can gray up his belt. Unless he's wearing a brown belt to match his brown shoes.
I mean,
Black and brown don't go together.
that's fine.
That's a lie.
I know. He's got brown shoes.
Make it brown.
All right.
I think brown looks better with blue anyhow.
Yeah.
It's called fashion, honey. Look it up.
All right. Getting a little bit of fresh brown for his belt. Gotta thin that out a little.
So the next step is we're going to dry brush again. I know we're not there yet.
Oh, no.
I don't want to warn you, Alex,
I've got extra brushes that you can dry brush with.
because you're about to ruin everything.
Yeah. Go light on the dry brushing. If you think
I'd
you have
like to avoid that.
take off more.
Okay, this is a moment of truth here. This is very
Mitch, any last minute tips on dry brushing?
It's a RuPaul's dry
Before
brush.
Alex ruins all of his hard work.
Good luck and don't fuck it up. I need to paint his belt.
Yep, that's what I'm doing. Tough. It's very, very touchy. Okay.
Not bad, not bad. Well, I appreciate everyone stopping by. This has been cool.
What?
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 He's just talking to the people.
Oh, okay.
painting.
Sorry, I thought you said this had been cool as if it was over. It's like, oh, are we done?
Okay, we're done. Goodbye, everybody.
That's what I thought you were signaling there.
Mitch says, make it as if the brush has no paint. That's, yeah.
Seems like good advice.
All right. Why are we doing this next step?
To make them look rusty.
Highlights.
All right.
We're just trying to hit the raised areas, a little paint. If Alex thinks he has enough paint, he has too much. So don't do anything yet.
All right. A little status update. So we've got the brown belt going. Brown belt is in place. There it is, with his little front chest plate. You got the shoes. You got the mummy wraps. You can kind of see those in the bottom. And then you can kind of see on the underside of his sword, you got a little bit of brown paint there. So I'll have to paint over that at some point. But that's what we got cooking. So we got
Cool.
Yep. All right. What are we doing next?
Okay. Is your model completely dry?
No.
No.
Okay, let's give it a second to dry. What I need you to do is I need to take whatever brush you're using, preferably the biggest brush available. Pick up your paper towel and just kind of, while still maintaining the point, wring out the moisture. Because we need our brush nice and dry for a dry brush. And do that in a couple different areas. of the paper towel.
What do you need?
Your big brush.
Oh, big
I
brush.
cleaned it out for you.
Yeah, use your big brush.
I haven't used that one yet.
It's gonna be your dry brushing.
Hang on, I got a little bit of brown mixed in there, so I'm over layering some more blue on top of his bottom of his coat here to kind of cover over it. Okay. Okay.
And then go ahead and run it along your hand just to see if there's any moisture.
Abby says my brush is good. Yep, feels pretty dry.
Now, the last time that we dry brush, we kind of just went crazy. We just put it all over. Some of us crazier than others.
Yeah.
This time, the dry brushing needs to be a little bit more surgical.
Okay.
So specifically, when you're dry brushing, maybe I didn't make this quite clear. The tip of the brush is not applying paint.
Okay.
It's really the side of the brush.
Okay.
So like if I'm trying to get paint in between my fingers here, pretend this is a giant brush, I'm not going to get it in the crevices, right? Whereas if I'm stabbing, I am.
Okay.
So I'm basically trying to take the edge of the brush, running along the high edges, the raised areas, to add a little bit of paint.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay. And then typically what I do is for each of the colors, kind of like we did with that gray on the pants, I add white to that color. Here we're just going to be dry brushing white over the whole thing.
Okay.
But it's going to be so little white, hopefully, Alex Goldsmith,
Yes.
that it's just kind of, again, making those raised areas pop a little bit and not turning it into Imhotep.
Wait, why are we adding water?
To thin it
Are you supposed to add water to it?
No, do not. Oh,
I want thin.
do not thin. When you're dry brushing, that's the only time you don't thin.
Well, then squirt a new dab.
Good instinct, though.
There you go.
Other than that, thin, thin, thin.
Fat dab.
Okay, got a fat
So
dab.
we don't want it thin because if it's thinned, it's more likely to run into the recesses.
Okay. All right. And then just kind of soak the brush in about halfway up.
Well, is the brush you use nice and dry?
Yeah, I'm the one. So Abby swapped out the one that she got all wet.
I've got lots
So
of different brushes.
we're good.
And is the dude himself dry? Because if there's wet paint on the model,
Abby's
this will
certainly
be
is.
a problem.
Abby's definitely is, I think, at this point. Mine, his pant, like right where I kind of retouched up his pants still.
Give it a little blow, Alex.
Yeah, he's not quite there yet.
It's all right. Start wiping out your brush.
All right, so brush is dipped about halfway up with white.
And I'm working it into the bristles because I do want the paint loaded initially.
Yep.
And then let's do this just to be safe, Alex. Kind of dry out your brush.
Yep.
The same way as you were drying out before. And if you run it over, say, your raised knuckle, it should almost kind of just dust it. If it's painting, you've got too much.
Yeah. Okay. I got it. I think we're in good shape now. It looks like a good little knuckle paint.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I think we're
So
there.
why don't you try it on the gun that we haven't painted yet, just to see if it looks good? And you're not trying to push hard.
Pretty white on the gun. So
Well, okay.
that's also pretty white.
Okay. Well then.
I've done the knuckle
And
test. I'm confident that this is probably going to be okay.
I'm just kind of lightly running it over the raised areas with some purpose, some control. His booty. The backpack, which kind of just pulls out the edges.
Yeah. Okay. A little bit.
You see, is it working?
I think so. On his legs, it is. Yeah. I definitely didn't have too much on this time. I don't think.
Kind of the top of his boots. We're doing this over every area we've painted. It's always better to build up. You can build up, you can't really take it away. And the better thing to do, again, is to do this with a specific color that's a brighter shade of the color you're working with. This is just sort of a quick cheat.
I think it's having the intended effect.
Yeah.
How's yours looking? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely caught in there. Okay, this went way better this time. How you feeling over there, pregnant lady?
Uncomfortable.
She uncomfortable.
I will tell you this, I have never painted while pregnant. So
I mean, there's probably a lot of things you haven't done while pregnant.
I don't know if I'd recommend it, Sean.
More so, it's the IKEA chairs that are causing problems.
Yeah. You want the rocking chair? Okay. Sean, I think this went reasonably well. So I don't think I ruined it.
hold on, let's see here.
So there's like a little touch on the pants there. You can see some definition in different parts there. His arm and stuff. So looks okay. Don't think I screwed it up.
Ooh, we lost my overhead. What was up with that?
Now you get to hold it close to your face.
Okay, what's next? Sean Ramirez, attorney at law. He's checking something on his phone because it's possible our stream went offline.
No, my phone shut off.
He
Oh,
doesn't have his camera.
We're good. I'm pretty sure we're good.
okay.
Let us know in the chat. I think we're good. It's just my overhead.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. All right. What are we setting up for next, paint-wise?
All right, next up is the metal.
Yeah. Just gunmetal?
So let's get the metal. Make sure that it's nice and mixed because there are little metal flakes in there
Okay.
that you want to make sure are evenly all over the place there.
So this is going to be shoulder plates. It's going to be gun. It's going to be sword for me. It's going to be all that fun stuff.
It's helmets, the little canister on the back.
Yep, the little back bedroll. Yep.
The very butt of the gun.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
There are some areas on his backpack where there's like a little skull. And you can see there's some buttons, and there's even some buckles on the straps.
Yep. Oh, like his belt buckle.
Good.
A silvery. All right. Yep. All right, so run me through steps remaining here. So we've got the gray, silver gray that's going to go on a bunch of stuff. Anything? What's after that? The wash?
The wash, and then that's pretty much it, except for the base.
See
Yep. All right, here comes the metal.
Do you want to you got
And this starts to really tie everything together.
Ooh,
shiny.
that's a good looking little paint there, huh?
And if you get it on the rest of the model where it shouldn't be, don't worry. Rinse off your brush, get it wet, and just wipe it off.
Do we need to thin it out?
Thin out the metal.
You don't want to thin the metal too much.
Okay.
And you notice the shoulder pads, they have like an under pad on the bottom.
Okay. Okay. All right, we're going at it.
And this is where I'm also hitting on like the little breather box, the little entry point. You can make the hose metal. I think I like it better kind of a gray. But that's just me.
This isn't Sean's army, so.
Yeah, Sean. You butt out of this.
I have a beautiful Slaneshi pink army.
Yeah, this is the mummy army. That's right. Silver goes on there. Nice.
There are things about that army that I can't say on stream because we're a Dice Tower affiliated podcast.
You considered becoming unaffiliated so you could say what you want to say. Food for thought.
It's fine.
All right. It's going on nicely on the sword there.
I mean, that was like all I cared about for a year and a half.
Yeah, it's true.
It would just be a terrible slight to pass on.
Wow. What's that economic principle?
Sunk cost fallacy.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. All right.
And as you put it on the gun,
Yep.
watch out for those hands.
Yep.
And so what I like to do with these types of, these are called lads guns, by the way. Some people call them laze guns, which I think is wrong. To make them a little bit more interesting, there might be parts that I don't paint metal, like the tips of them.
Sure.
A lot of times they're kind of like a ceramite casing that you could paint different colors. But for our purposes, it looks fine. Just metal.
Can I get a neon orange paint so I can tape the tips neon orange so they look like they're like little toy guns?
They're like little Nerf guns.
So there's this new line of paints called Turbo Dork. They have a lot of crazy neon colors that I've been looking for an excuse to use.
Like, how adorable would a whole little set of these be, fully decked out in war gear, and then the guns look like Super Soakers or like Nerf guns?
Are you a Hello Kitty fan, Abby?
I mean, I'm familiar. I definitely know my Sanrio, but like fan, probably not.
Because there are some Hello Kitty Warhammer armies out there.
Ooh.
So gun, shoulder pads,
helmet,
a little canister on the back of the backpack.
Yeah.
The bottom of the backpack.
It's a lot of silver that this boy gets. A lot of metal.
The input points for the breather box. And then if you want to, like I said, if you want to be brave, pick out the little skull and the buttons on the backpack.
God, and the buttons on his coat too, I guess. Little doop dabs.
Yeah, most of mine are like hidden by his gun. It's hard to see.
See, like I've got like a good number of
and
buttons.
like I said before, that's the thing. If you can't reach it, you can't really see it from 3 feet away. So, no big deal.
All right.
At a certain point, you build these things in subassembly where you don't put on shoulder pads or you don't put on guns, so you can paint all the areas that are just going to get covered up by someone. because you have some minor OCD tendencies. Oh, Jeremy says, I love Turbodork. By the way, Jeremy's an excellent painter. He paints a lot of his board games too. And we started to get back into War Machine, but that was like 4 or 5 years ago. Jeremy, what have you used Turbodork for? I think that's the big problem with new lines of paint, especially if they're really interesting, is you can't, like, it looks bad to start painting a new squad in the same army in a different way.
Who says?
So it becomes, well, they're an army. They want to be whole and consistent and uniform.
It's the Turbodork squad. I mean, you got to start somewhere.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Is it just gives you an excuse to start a new army.
You're like, I guess I need to buy 50 more miniatures.
Yep. True story. Oh, his helmet.
Yeah.
Oh, dingus.
I'm ahead of you on the helmet. That sucker's silver.
Oh, nice. He used Turbodork for Xenomorphs in Starcadia Quest. That would make sense.
Has anyone considered making an Animorphs board game?
An Animorphs board game? I don't know if an Animorphs board game exists. It wouldn't surprise me if there's like an Animorphs card game somewhere, but not heard of an Animorphs. Yeah, I don't know. The Animorphs IP has not been supremely well used of late, unfortunately.
Oh, shame.
Animorphs Warhammer, maybe?
Why not?
Get to paint your Tobias the red-tailed hawk miniature.
As long as they come in like that middle, half transformed, half boy, half hawk.
Yeah.
I'm also taking a little bit of the metal, and I'm doing something called, wait, I forget what it's called. It's not dry brushing. It is
wet brushing.
Wet brushing.
It's
damp brushing.
Oh. It's basically where you're using the same principle of dry brushing, but you haven't cleared off your brush. And I'm hitting the little front piece of the brown breather box where it looks like there's kind of dials and buttons.
Yep. I'm debating whether it makes sense to go and try and hit these little buttons on his coat or not. I'm kind of hesitating on that right now.
I think buttons on coat is probably point of diminishing returns.
Okay.
Especially if you screw it up.
Yep. All right. We'll work on second coats for stuff instead, like this shoulder pad.
So Emil asks Jeremy, is Arcadia Quest worth getting? I'm on the fence because I already have Arcadia Quest. I feel like I would like Starcadia Quest more. But like Emil, I have so much Arcadia Quest. But now I have a harder time painting board game minis because I have such a bigger backlog of Warhammer stuff. What do you think, Jeremy? Is there enough difference in gameplay? I know very little about the gameplay, other than it's kind of like Arcadia Quest. Oh, probably not. Starcadia Quest is like Arcadia Quest Light. Ooh.
You would like the miniatures in Arcadia Quest, Abby.
Would I?
Yes.
They're super cute. They're awesome. They're these little chibi, like Dungeons and Dragons dudes. Mitch, tell me to get on.
Got his belt buckled.
Nice.
If you're still there, Mitch.
Okay, I'm going to give folks a progress update here.
Okay, hold on. Let me.
So here we go. So here's my guy. I mean, you got to show off your guy too. Sword is done. Gun's done. Helmet's done. This is going to be really hard to see, but there's like just a little bit of metal on his belt buckle. I can give him a little shiny belt buckle. And then his mask and little breathing tube are all with some metal too. So Abby, show off yours.
He looks like a war guy. Ready for war.
You sound very excited about these.
The theme is really right up my alley. I have to admit.
Looking good. Looking good. Yeah, no, Mitch. I know you're still there. Well, I think you're there. I don't know. Here's the thing with Mitch. He's too nice of a person to leave.
Mitch.
Is this Mitch? Wait, is Mitch lit cigarette guy or someone else?
Mitch is the recipient of the lit cigarette in his face.
Okay. Yes. Playing a game called Diplomacy, which we will never play.
Well, Alex, you would never play it, period.
Correct.
All right, so we're going to do the wash last.
Okay.
Once we do the wash, we're pretty much done, and it's going to take too long to dry.
Yep.
So at this point, what's going to be left is the base, the wash.
Yep.
And then picking out the lenses.
The lenses.
For ultramarine blue, just a little boop boop, but that happens after the wash.
The lenses.
Look where his eyeballs are.
But he's got a mask on. You can't see his eyeballs, can you?
Well, there's glass.
There's lenses. That's why there's no lenses.
It's right near the edge of the helmet.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Jeremy. Mitch has had a couple drinks.
Great.
Jeremy had messaged me in our Discord that I failed by not getting you spray varnish.
By what?
Which seals the miniature, protecting it. It's a varnish. It's a spray-on varnish. It seals the miniature, protects it from damage. It also kind of dulls everything and kind of ties everything together, sort of.
Okay.
So what I'll do is I'll put in an order for varnish and the little grass tufts.
Oh, yeah.
But this guy's pretty much done once we do these last couple steps.
Okay.
All right, so do you have your Armageddon dust?
We have the Armageddon dust, yes.
Okay, so use the biggest brush you have for this.
Okay.
This paint is not nice to your brushes.
Okay, let me clean off this brush.
Be very careful that you're not getting it too far up the bristles. And when you see it, it's almost like a wet cement.
Okay.
Sorry, that's group chat about a show you're not watching. So
Oh, all right.
But everyone else thinks it's a good show.
And I would add a little bit of water to this, not a whole lot.
Whoa.
You don't wanna...
Does this get shaken up or no?
Yes, shake it up.
Okay, hang on.
Nick Hayes is back. Welcome back, Nick. I like to add just a little bit of water to this because I don't want this super runny.
Mm-hmm.
But it needs a little bit of...
Whoa.
Nick, you missed an almost fully painted Death Korps Kriegsman.
Here, Nick, I'll give Nick the update. There's my guy, Nick.
Of Krieg.
So there he is. He's got metal on him now. He's got a sword. He's got all sorts of cool stuff. Anyway, all right, we have this this like brownish stuff with just a bit of water.
It's very goopy.
It's very goopy and kind of sandy and
so
weird.
paint it on the base.
Okay.
And be very careful to avoid the miniature.
Yep.
Especially around the boots. Also around the rim of the base. If you get some on the rim, just kind of wipe it off with your thumb.
Oh, so it's just the top.
Just the top, yep.
And just the top. And what I'm doing here is I'm even putting it on inconsistently, because this is kind of like mud, right?
Yep.
So there might be some areas where it's piled up a little bit more. But I want to make sure that there's not really any black on the top of the base.
Oh boy. Okay.
But here's the thing. If you get some on the boot,
Yep, it's just mud on his boot.
this dude's walking on it, right? Why not? And then there's a whole bunch of other stuff you can do with, we call them weathering effects, chipping of paint, and all sorts of cool stuff. Nick asks, how's the scale of these minis compared to minis like a CMON game? So these are considered 25 millimeter heroic. And the heroic means that their hands, the weapons, and the heads are a little bit bigger. They're not quite to scale. These are a little bit smaller than, say, well, so Arcadia Quest is probably something closer to like 35, maybe 40 millimeter. And we could also put on a couple extra layers of this too. Like I said, I don't really want to see any of the black poking through.
Okay.
Oh my God, Warhammer chibis, that would be so amazing.
What does that mean?
Chibis are like Japanese style, kind of cute.
Actually, hold on here. So the Tabletop Titans, they have a Warhammer channel that I watch like 12 hours a week. They have these really cool Warhammer chibi shirts and stuff. Pull them up here.
It's looking pretty good, I think. How you doing with the mud?
Okay, I guess. Fine.
Okay, here I'm gonna share my screen real quick. Chrome tab.
Let me see your dirt.
Can you guys see my? Okay,
It's small. It's quite small. It looks like a bunch of
so here's like a chibi orc. Eventually.
Ah.
Yeah.
Cute. Very much cute. Adorable.
Yeah, that's why you'd like Arcadia. I'll show you Arcadia Quest stuff when we're off stream here. Okay, I think, Sean, we're there. I think it's
okay. Hold on, let me stop sharing.
Okay.
All right, now I would typically not prefer to do the base before the wash because some of the wash is going to get onto the base.
Yep.
But that's okay. We can control that a little bit. Additionally, you may just have to reapply some of the base just around the bottom there.
Okay.
Okay. So take your wash.
Yep.
Make sure your brush is nice and clean.
Which size? Big or little?
Yeah, big, little brush.
Big brush.
Big brush.
Because we are slathering this on. This is going over the entirety of the model.
Okay.
Except for don't do the base. Although
Yep.
you can do the base, just not while it's wet. So washes you can use in select areas. I would, if it were up to me, if you guys had like a black wash, I would do a black on the coat and the pants, and then a separate brown on kind of everything else. But it's fine because this kind of makes it look dingy and grimy. They're in the mud.
Okay.
All right, you got your wash.
Yeah, it's strong tone wash. Do you thin it down at all or no?
Tone, what? Do not thin it down.
Okay.
And just start top to bottom. Just throw it on.
Okay.
So what's going to happen is this is mostly going to pool in the recesses. It's got a decent working time, but there's a little bit of cleanup that we're going to have to do. And we'll talk about that as we're going.
Okay. Going top to bottom. Just slather it on. Don't even.
Just slather it on. Every part of the dude.
Or do that.
Or do that.
Or yeah, no. The Astra Militarum are equal opportunity. Everybody can die for the Emperor.
Mm-hmm.
Now tell me, Alex, what it looks like when you get to the wraps.
We're not.
Mummy wraps.
We're not there yet. Immediate impression is dirty.
Good. I feel like dirty money. Like that's what you're going for.
But I can't tell until this thing dries. Like it just looks like it's all just kind of muddy, dirty right now. And maybe it'll kind of like as it dries.
Be careful on the boots.
Okay.
So we could avoid getting it onto the mud.
Yeah. His legs. Feels like a long time ago we did those legs. Like a little highlight on there.
Yeah, it was about an hour and 50 minutes ago.
Man. Okay. It's on there. It's on there. I think he's been washed, and I don't think I got any of that on the mud.
Right.
Okay.
Nick talks about painting Talisman minis. I've painted Talisman minis before. It's been a while since I played Talisman. Alex, you played the 40K version Talisman called Relic.
I don't remember this at all.
You did not enjoy it one bit.
All right. There was that game Rex I played a long time ago that was sort of like a remake of Dune.
Right.
That I also recall not enjoying.
You did not enjoy that either.
Nope.
It's like Jeremy's out. Later, buddy.
Bye, Jeremy. Okay.
Okay, so now.
If there's excess or stuff on the back, does it matter? Is it like?
That's what I'm going to get to now.
Okay.
So take your brush.
Yep.
Don't clean it yet.
Okay.
Wipe off the excess wash from
Yep.
the brush.
Okay.
So your brush should be nice and dry.
Yep.
And what we don't want this to do is pull up on some of the flat areas.
Yep.
So you can take your brush with the tip and just touch those pulled up areas on the flat areas, and a capillary action should pull it up. Pull it up, excuse me. You want them in the recesses. Keep them in the recesses. And it's once this dries, it's going to look a little brighter than it is.
Okay. Okay.
I actually didn't get too much pulling up on raised areas or flat areas. That's interesting.
I don't know what the equivalent of me doing this for you would be, like buying you a bunch of hockey gear and signing you up for a pickup league or something.
Can I rollerblade or do I? Well, I can ice skate. Okay.
Okay.
You turned out really good.
I think it turned out all right. Yeah. I think it did better than I thought I was going to do. I think I maybe went a little heavy with the tone, though. We'll see how it looks when it dries.
Oh no, I think it looks good.
See yours. Let's see your guy. Yeah. Yeah. I think next set of minis for you, we want something like brighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wants like bright and colorful next time, I think. Okay. They are washed. What do we do now?
Now we sit and wait. So we're probably done.
Okay.
What I usually do, I give these at least 30 minutes.
Okay.
And sometimes more.
Okay.
So it's usually a good breaking point for a night.
Yep.
The nice thing is, and hopefully you could see, like, all of the changing from one color to another takes up a lot of time.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it in an assembly line, you're doing all of one color, all of the pants, then all of the coats, and it goes a lot faster. So like one guy might take me 30 minutes by himself. As part of an assembly line, he's probably like 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You're saving all that time.
Yep.
So here would be the next steps that you guys would want to do.
Okay.
Once it's fully dry, you could then dry brush all the metal with that same metal color, which if it's just on the edges, it's going to make it look a little more worn and pop a little bit more. And then the last thing you would do is you're going to paint a black ring around the base just to kind of clean up that edge.
You said something with 2 blue dots in the eyes or something like that?
Oh, yeah. You take your ultramarine blue and very carefully, eyes are the worst, and you just go in just a little bloop, bloop.
Okay. All right, so we got eyes, dry brush metal, and paint the base probably.
I'm assuming N dot is he who shall not be named, because he's mentioning his 2 full pledges of Mutant Chronicles. No, thank you, sir.
I don't know. So kind of give folks a final look at what we're talking about, because we're wrapping up here.
Take good pictures and you can post them on.
Yeah, I'll take some pictures of these and post them on Twitter, but I'll just kind of show. Here's mine. Abby, if you want to show off yours. So it's gonna see lighting. There we go. You can see him. He's got good tone. He looks a little better in person than he does maybe here, but
I can tell. I can tell through like the camera, all of that. Yeah, they look really solid.
Yeah, I think we did okay.
I think we had a good teacher.
So what did I tell you?
I said
you're going to be surprised by how well they come out.
I will wait. I will reserve judgment until he's like done. But it has gone better than I thought it was going to go.
Told you.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing.
Well, thanks for the teach.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
He who shall not be named confirmed. It is he who shall not be named.
Okay. All right.
Super.
All right. Well, I hope you guys had fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's 8 more dudes to go.
Meanwhile,
I have 8 more dudes and all the terrain and the orcs.
Oof.
I got to tell you, it's really disheartening to like do it all over again.
Yeah, I believe it.
I'll power through.
Well, good deal.
Everybody who joined us, oh my God, thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for the moral support. Thanks for the help. And thanks to you, Sean, for teaching us, I think, reasonably well and getting us to what looks like a semi-competent stage here.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Well, again, thanks everyone for joining. Alex and Abby, you've got your first Warhammer minis under your belts.
Woohoo!
Woo!
All downhill from here.
We'll see how it goes on the future
Bye,
one.
everybody.
All right. See y'all. Bye.